Okay, let's get started. Like I said earlier, we are going to discuss product backlog. You know, product backlog are requirements. They are just technical requirements. It's just that once you go to agile environment, they have their own unique names. So, and because we're going to work in agile, that's where we're going to build or do the configuration and the execution. So we have to create our requirements using product backlog framework. But generically, or in traditional project management like waterfall, we just call it technical requirement. Okay, if you look at in initiate stage, you see the business analyst go into requirement gathering. At that point, he's trying to understand the business problem, the business need, and the requirement he is collecting that time, requirement gather, all the requirement he's gathering that time and analyzing. Who will tell us what to call that type of requirement? Some of us here have done requirement gathering.
Sorry, sir, can you repeat yourself? I'm sorry.
Okay, I said during the initiate stage, business analyst goes into requirement gathering. He gathers the requirements, document the requirements, model the requirements, analyze the requirements, and draft a business case. What is the name given to that requirement the business analyst gathered during the initiate stage?
We did the initial requirement gathering.
Huh?
Initial requirement gathering.
Yeah, that is initial requirement gathering. We know it's initial. That is the first stage of gathering requirements. That is not the name of the requirement he gathered. But initial requirement is event. Let me call it an event or a meeting or a workshop. It's not the requirement gathered. It's just a process. Initial requirement gathering is a process of starting to gather requirements, as the name implies. Okay, without wasting time, it's called business requirements. Do you know why it's called business requirement? You are going out to understand the business problems. Are you getting the point? Business problem. That's what we are going out there talking to different business leaders, trying to understand requirements, understand the pain points, their challenges, their struggle. All this we are gathering is called business requirement, business need, business requirement. But when you want to work on this business requirement, out of that business requirement, we'll say, okay, we need a solution. And from that, we've concluded we are going to build a CRM system. And because of that, we've decided it's going to be a Dynamics 365 CRM system to help us manage lead management of the company. lead is potential customer. So now we want to build a solution. We want to convert that business requirement into features, technical requirement, and that's how the solution is going to be. What we need in that solution we are creating, because Dynamics 365 CRM is still very large. So we have to decide what are we building in Dynamics 365. It's a very large, software system, extremely large. It's up to you to build, to configure what you need. You pay for what you need. It's very large ecosystem. And that's why we have to decide what we want and break it down into manageable requirements. We can work with the developers. And that is what we call technical requirements. So what we're doing here is converting business requirements into technical requirements. That is your duty here as a business analyst. Yeah. And after building, after converting it into technical requirement, developers will understand technical requirements better. This technical requirement is what we call product backlog in Agile. That is the name we call it in Agile environment. Just like we call Scrum Master, we call project manager Scrum Master. So the same thing. After building this technical, after this technical requirement, we build it into a solution. Then the business analyst again will go and explain this to the business business leaders. That is converting technical requirements or technical solution into business need so that they will understand it. So that is what we are doing. We are in between the technical team and the business team. You help the business team understand the technical team, convert it to the language they will understand. So it's just like you are a translator. You help the business, the technical team convert to technical requirements because they don't understand business language. Convert it to technical language they will understand. Just simple. And all these things is requirements we are converting, different requirements, and that's all. That's what we're doing. I just want to use this layman's language so that we can grasp it deeply. I hope we get the flow now. Is there any way we are still struggling to understand what technical requirement is?
No, it's clear, sir.
Okay. Are we still struggling understanding the difference between technical requirements and product backlog?
I'm okay, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Technical requirements and product backlog is the same thing. The only difference is product backlog is the name we call it in agile environment. And technical requirement is the name we call it in the waterfall environment. That's just same thing. Okay. Let's look at our notes. Mark, I hope you are following. You know, this is not legal system.
Yes, I'm following.
Mm-hmm. You are now an engineer. You are no longer a lawyer. What we're doing here is software engineering. So, all right. Okay. Product backlog is an ordered list of work items, tasks, or technical requirement that the development team need to complete in order to deliver a product. It serves as the single source of truth for project requirement in Agile and Scrum methodology. Yes, I use Agile. That is where we are going to use. But if you are working in waterfall environment, you are just going to use the word technical requirements. So, yeah. The main purpose is to organize this work, prioritize our work, and this product backlog is a collection of these small work items. All these work items, we have user stories, we have acceptance criteria, we have tax, we have bug. All these are put together as a work in a collection in an organized format, and we call it product backlog. So the purpose is to prioritize the work. Prioritization means that the most important work item should be on top, always. And the less important will be at the bottom. The rule of thumb is that developers keep lifting items from top. They don't need to go back and look for whatever the business analyst or the product owner says that is the most important. According to the business leaders, they should be on top. They keep on lifting work from the top, and they don't go below the work that are on the top. If tomorrow the business analyst or the product owner says this work that has been on top is no longer so important now, all these ones that are at the bottom, this is what is important for us to deliver. We then move all the items on top to the bottom and bring the ones. So means constant refinement, and that is where this flexibility comes in. So this is prioritization, organized tasks based on value and urgency. Transparency, ensure that all team members and stakeholders have visibility into the project requirement. See requirement. This product backlog is a single source of truth, meaning that everybody should have access to it. This is what we, the whole team, have agreed to work on. This is our work. Everybody should have access to it. Nobody should be given half access. Everybody should have the same understanding. The way me, Charles, teaching it, is understanding it, should be the way Esther, Amaka, Doris, Ego, Nkechi, Paul, Oyinda, that should be the way all of us should understand it. Even Bola, all of us here, that is the way we should understand it. When one person is seeing it differently, then it means that the work need more refinement. We continue to refine it till everybody have the same understanding. Everybody started seeing it that green is green, and not people saying that green is red. And flexibility allows for dynamic update based on evolving need. What we say today that is most important, tomorrow business landscape can change, the market can change, and everything we have on top will bring it down. Look at the markets today. Before, a lot of items has been on top in the work market. Today, all those things have gone down. Now another thing has come up. AI is now on top. Everybody is now, so things keep changing. Tomorrow, another thing can come up and it can change our whole product backlog. Another important purpose of having a comprehensive product backlog is tracking. Helps team measure progress by walking through the backlog item. As we are working, we are seeing the amount of work we've consumed over a period of time. So it's a document, and this is how it looks like. We must have items in this document. Items are user stories. Items are features, items are bug, technical tags, or enhancement. It must be in an ordering form. Items are prioritized based on business value, user need, and dependencies. Estimate. Every work item must be estimated for us to understand the work effort. How much effort do we need to put into a particular work item? We must prioritize it. We must estimate it. That is it. And then dynamic in nature. Every work item in the backlog is subject to continuous refinement. You can't say that this work item is final. Like I said, if tomorrow we are after refining our work, and if today after refining our work and tomorrow we want to start working on this work item and two team members started arguing based on their level of understanding, it means that both of them are not in the same page. We drop everything we are doing and go and refine it more. Because if we don't refine it more at that time, if at the end of the project and we build something and we come out and the stakeholders say, this is not actually what we wanted, it means we have to go back. You see the amount of work, amount of time it's going to take, going back again to rebuild it again is not that easy. So that's dynamic. So these are the elements. If we have this document, these are set of elements we must be able to see in our backlog. Every backlog, it must have an epic feature. Epic is high-level grouping of related functionalities. High level, when it's like at a very chunky stage that need to be broken down. Yeah, so that is epic. It needs to be broken down further. It's just like serving someone a full chicken. A full chicken, all of us know that it's difficult to put a full chicken in your mouth. It's not possible. It needs to be broken down before you can feed on it. So that is like epic, is very chunky. Feature, specific area of functionality under epic. Still, a full piece of chicken, yeah, you can say, okay, you break it into wings, and still, it's still going to be difficult to feed on that chicken when you break it into two drums, wings, and still need to break it down. So you need to break it down to the level that you just, once you use a fork, you pick a piece of meat, you put it in your mouth. That is when it becomes consumable. And that is where we come to user story. That is the level we break it and we'll start consuming it. We consume user stories. So describe work from users' point of view or perspective. Then we'll have acceptance criteria. Every work item, every piece of work we want to consume, we must have a standard to guarantee that, yes, we are happy and it meets business need. We call it acceptance criteria. Outside this environment, outside agile environment, it can be called quality control, standard control. That's standard control. And that's where we see all these QAs, quality assurance. They are the people that draft this acceptance criteria. If you have a QA, it's the duty of the QA to work and set all these acceptance criteria, quality standard in various work, even in our projects. But business analysts can equally do that. Okay. Hello guys, I'm sorry. This kid they just barged into my office. Okay, sorry about that. Let's just continue from where we stopped. We're talking about acceptance criteria. So, like I said, acceptance criteria is a standard control. Okay, we have issue type. What item must be categorized based on the type? We can classify it as a feature, as a tax, as a defect, or enhancement. So we must capture the item type. Then we'll have story points. Is an estimate. Every work we need to do must be estimated. Every work item. This will help us to understand our workload. We should be able to know the amount of workload we can consume as a team. When we have a particular workload that we are comfortable with, then that should be our standard workload. For instance, if the story point, the total story point is 70, over 3, if we work over 3 sprints, and every sprint we manage to finish 70 story points, then that 70 should be our standard. Anytime we we added up to 80 story points, the Scrum Master should be able to query the team, knowing that why are they adding that? Are they sure they can finish these story points? It's better to select the amount of work you can finish than taking some work back after you have selected them. It doesn't look so professional. It means you do not really understand your capacity. And if our standard is 70 and the team is started selecting 50, you query the team, what happened? Why are we dropping down? Why are we going down? So that is the main reason of understanding the story point, the work estimate, the effort it takes to complete a user story. When we add all of them up, that is our total story point. Priority, every work must be prioritized in terms of importance, high importance, medium importance, and low. The high importance or high priority or prioritize should be on top. Low priority should be at the bottom. And once you add items on the JIRA, you must equally capture the JIRA ID. And then the status of every work item, you must be able to show when a work item is not started, that is to do, when it's in progress, and when it's done. So let's talk a bit about some of these. Like Epic, I would say Epic is a large body of work that can be broken down into smaller parts or user stories. Epics are typically too big to be completed in a single iteration or sprint and need to be decomposed into smaller, more manageable pieces. Epic provide a high-level view of what needs to be done and serve as a placeholder for future planning and analysis. It's a chunk of work that needs to be broken down. Sorry. They'll talk about features. Features are a chunk of functionality that provides a valuable outcome to the end user. They are generally larger in scope than user story, but smaller than Epic. Okay, let's look at an example of Epic feature user stories. As we can see, this work item, this is a product we are using to teach this Google Doc. If you click on this, you see all these works. This can be called, these are features. Features, you see, download is a feature. Download is a feature. If you look at this feature, we have download in Microsoft Word, download in open format, download in rich text, download. All these are user stories. User stories under this download. So download here is a feature. You see the way it's broken down? But what is the epic here? Can somebody tell me what is the epic in this scenario?
The file.
I think it's a file.
Yes, epic is the file. You see, if for us now as a team, we are a team of software engineers and we want to develop this. We are not going to jump in and say, you see, with this, to develop a file alone is going to take us like 6 months. So, creating a file for this product called, what is the product we are talking about?
Document.
Google Doc.
Okay, Google Doc. To create this, we are not going to, it's going to be a full-blown project that can last for 6 months or more, even 1 year. To create this file can last for 1 year. Because if you're looking at it, you see new. Under new, we have new document and templates. Then this is open. This is, if you look at most of the features here, need to be broken down into user stories. You see this? Share into different, email into different, download into. So there are so many things to do on this. So it cannot be just, when we finish, another epic here can be edit. Another epic here can be view. Another epic here is insert. Look at this insert alone. Look at all the features here. You see, this is a feature. This feature alone can be broken down into upload from computer, search web, drive, photo, camera by URL. Only one feature in this insert. So that is the way it should be. If we understand it, how to break our work down, simple. We'll start getting it. If we let's look at let's move a bit outside software development and look at construction industry. Let's look at a house. If you are building a house, Roofing can be called epic in a house. Under roofing, there is a lot of work to be done. Roofing alone, only roofing. We have to do the wooding. We have to then do the roofing sheets. We have to, there's a lot. After then we'll start sealing and a lot. You see, we're breaking them down into, that is just epic. And it is like that in so many cases. So, okay, let's look at user stories. User story should be the smallest unit of a requirement. As a user story, it cannot be broken down again. One is at a user story, it cannot be broken down. That's what we call it user story. Now we have served is at that stage where the intended user can start consuming it. They can start using it. That is consumption. When somebody is using at that unit is consumption. So user story are short, simple description or a feature told from the perspective of a user or a customer. And the format comes this way. As a user, you have to decide the type of user. I want to do this so that I get this benefit or this value. User story help team understand what needs to be developed from the user point of view and encourage conversation and collaboration between developers and stakeholders and product owners. Example, as a user, I want to be able to log into the system with my email and password so that I can access my personalized dashboard. That is the user story for you. And acceptance criteria. Every user story must have an acceptance criteria. You must. That is a standard. Every work must be measured. Acceptance criteria are specific condition or requirement that a user story or a feature must meet to be considered complete or satisfactory. They are written from the perspective of the user to define the functionality and behavior of the system. Acceptance criteria help ensure that the development team and the stakeholders have a shared understanding of what needs to be delivered. Example, given that I am on the login page where you are going to put your email address and the password, and when I enter a valid email and password, I should be able to be directed to my personalized dashboard. When you put your email and you put your password and it's not taking you anywhere, then it's not acceptable. No matter how intuitive, no matter how beautiful that login page is looking very polished, but these are two things we need to do there. We are not interested in how polished it is. We want a navigation. That should be the point of navigation, point of access. And we'll come there to access and there is no entry. Then we are going to reject it. In summary, Epic represents large body of work. Feature are more refined chunk of functionalities. User story describe the functionality from the user perspective, and acceptance criteria define the condition of satisfaction for a user story or feature. So, yeah, these are the characteristics, and we've already discussed them, so I'm not going to start going to read this up again. It's just giving more explanation. So I've spoken about all this list of requirement prioritization, dynamic user story and tags, estimation, refinement, transparency, and sprint planning. So it's sprint planning. That is one characteristics of product backlog. Yeah, product backlog we use. We do our sprint planning from product backlog. So, what is sprint planning? In Scrum, during sprint planning, a subset of items from the product backlog is selected to be part of the upcoming sprint. This selected item becomes sprint backlog and are the focus of the team during the work. So sprint is a small duration of project. It's a project time, small duration, where we deliver a small portion of work. So it's within a period of 1 week to one month where we work as a team to deliver small piece of work. That is sprint. And during that sprint, whatever we want to deliver must be selected from a product backlog. So that's how the sprint planning comes in here. So steps of creating a product backlog. We must identify the goal, the product goal. What do we want to achieve? That is where so many people start getting it wrong. You must understand the goal. Even if we have understand that we need to implement this solution, like I said, we want to, because I see some people, they agree to implement a product, but they deviate from the central point at some point. Yeah, we're implementing Dynamics 365 CRM. What is the goal of Dynamics 365 CRM? You can use Dynamics 365 CRM to achieve a lot of things. Understand your goal. Okay, in our own case, the main important thing we are talking about is lead management. Lead management. We need to manage our lead before we even convert them into customers that start using. Okay, at this point, are we talking about customer engagement? We do not even have customer. We have not even launched. So the first thing is lead. How do we get customers first or get some people into our CRM system? So understand the goal. The main goal based on the project we are working on is lead management. Once that is done, number 2, gather requirement. Collaborate with stakeholders to collect features, need, and technical requirement. Break down tasks. Divide high level into smaller actionable items. Prioritize them, rank them by value, urgency, and dependency, and apply estimate. Estimate effort. Assign level of effort to every work item and continuously refine. You have to keep refining and refining and refining till you don't have any more thing to refine. And this is how it should look like when you create a product backlog. The best way to manage a product backlog is to manage it from a table like this. You know, we have to give you the clear understanding, but you can still manage it. If you understand it very well, even if you are managing it from a software, so it's not like in a table this way, you already master it. So looking at this product backlog, the project goal is to implement Dynamics 365. You see, this is not CRM system. Like I said, Dynamics 365 is so big. This one is called Business Central. Business Central is the ERP, Enterprise Resource Planning, although it has some pockets of CRM attached to it to optimize finance department operations activities at nearest. And here is the EPIC finance optimization. Finance optimization is a large piece of work. Chart of accounts. You have chart of account, you need to break them down into different chart of accounts. And from chart of account, you can start creating different user stories from chart of account. You create acceptance criteria. You create issue type. So you can, like I said, you can give it a feature, or you can like a user story, or a bug, or a task, and the add story point, and priority, and Jira ID, and status. And you see it, this is on the top because it's the most prioritized. You see, it's high. So you see all the work that is high, all the high should be brought up. Like see some of these ones that are high, all of them should be moved up. That is the priority, the importance of prioritization. Every work item that is high should be on top of the product backlog. Then the medium should be in the middle. Then the low, you see here low, all the low priority work should be at the bottom. And that's the purpose of prioritizing them. And best practice while managing product backlog, collaborate continuously. Don't work as a lone ranger. Is not a healthy environment when you are taking decision alone. You are working as a group, but you are taking only the decision. You only brought out a finished document and started posting it on everybody. Collaboration, it must be collaborative work, and it is not a one-off. It should be a continuous effort. You must keep engaging team members, developers. Prioritization is ruthlessly focus on delivering the most valuable. Avoid overloading. Limit backlog to actionable and relevant items. Define clear acceptance criteria. Ensure each backlog item is well defined to avoid ambiguity or understanding, and regularly refine. Hold backlog refinement session regularly to reassess priority and add new items. And you see, if you are going to be a project manager or a business analyst, or you are planning to work in a team, you must not be tired of meeting. This one, they will call a meeting. Some of you, I just believe because we all will know it's a training session and it's not a real work environment. But in the real work environment, there's no way your project manager will call a meeting and everybody will ignore. Then you know you are losing your job. Nobody is even begging you because the people looking, there's a lot of people looking for that job. So, good backlog session, you must regularly have meeting. It's important. Yeah. And tools, we have tools we use in product backlog. We have Jira. Jira is the most popular and we are going to use it. So Jira is extremely important. Everybody must know. It's very intuitive and very simple. So it's a very simple and very powerful. Well, we are going to use it very soon. Then we'll have Azure DevOps. Azure DevOps is just like Jira, which offers end-to-end for managing product backlog. We have a very most simple project tool that is very good, which is Trello. Trello is a sister to Jira, the same company that has this Jira equally owns Trello. So it has a visualization Kanban style. So we have equallymonday.com, customizable workflow and collaboration features. So these are so many tools in the market that can be used. So this particular one is free. These two, Jira and Trello, is free. I think Azure board, you have, I think, is it 1 month or 2 is 3 version, trial version. Most of them have trial version, but this one will have free forever, Jira and Trello for managing your product backlog. And this is how the product backlog will look like. This is it here. So this is our product backlog. So you see, this is what we're going to. If you look at this very well, you see here this product backlog. For now, ignore here. This is not part of a product backlog. This is a test case, but I joined them together because I use them together when I work. So the product backlog starts from this sky blue to here. So we see have epic, we have features, we have user stories, we have acceptance criteria, we have issue type. From issue type, if I drop down, okay, if I click here, you can select task, you can select user story, you can select bug. So that is issue type. Then you have story points. From story points, you see 1 to 10. So you can select any one based on if you agree that is 8 story points, we'll give it 8. We'll have prioritization. Or we'll use what we call Moscow analysis. That is the techniques, one of the best techniques in prioritization management, project prioritization management is Moscow analysis. It gives you opportunity to decide the item that is a must. You see, this is a must, good to have. It's left for you and your team to decide and whether item is a good to have. If it's a good to have, then you need to move it down. Then if you don't want to use Moscow, you can use simple prioritization like high, medium, and low. Or you use good to have, must have, and must not have. So what's here, you see what we're using here is Moscow. So must have, good to have, and that's it. That's how you should prioritize your work. And once you move your item to Jira, you capture the Jira ID. And once the work starts, if you want to update your table, maybe if there's other people following you at this table, monitoring, you can be updating it from here. You say not started, you can say 50% completion, and you can say 70% completion, and you can say 100% completion. So it's completed now, and that's it. So it just help you to manage your work item, and that's it. So, and you must understand the goal. Like I said, the goal here is lead and contact management. Lead and contact management. If the priority change, we can then move every item under lead and contact management. We can move them down, and we can bring another. If another important goal is now LinkedIn integration, then we'll move all the items. We'll create a product backlog for LinkedIn integration. We'll create user stories and acceptance criteria for LinkedIn integration and move them forward. And then contact and lead management can be moved down. If we change and say today we're no longer interested in that, we can come down here and move another item forward. We can say we want to use this Dynamics 365 for marketing campaign management, then we'll move it forward. Every other item will be moved down. It should be flexible. So that's it. And this is a lot of work to be done. Originally, when I created this, I have to read a lot, go through all the, try to master this Dynamics 365. I did the thorough reading. But today, for those some of you who are already in our AI prompts, this is where AI is going to do magic for you. You must know how to prompt. Once you know how to prompt, you create exact prompt of what you need, the AI will generate this for you exactly the way you want it. You know, so I'm just some people like us who burn candle to create product backlog, and even that's why we have templates like this. You know, when I carry this template, it's like I have authority in government, and I carry it with honor because it took me time to create this template so that I can share it. But these days, all you need is prompting, and AI will just give it to you hot, like a piece of cake. So, thank you for listening, and ask me your questions.
Sorry, sir. So my question is, I know this is tech setting. I just want to ask, do we have something like a product backlog in construction projects as well?
What is product backlog? That is my question.
Technical requirements of a business, of a project.
Okay. What is construction?
It's a project, it's a business.
It's not a project. What is house?
Hey,
Okay.
sir.
What is, let me ask you this question.
Okay.
What can you call a 5-bedroom a 5-bedroom duplex? What is it?
It is a building, it's a house now.
It's a product.
Is it a product?
Yes.
Okay.
It's a solution. It's not, is it not a solution?
Yes, it's a solution.
What is the solution? What is the problem that is solving?
Creating where people can live, accommodation.
Is it the only accommodation? It's not
No,
only accommodation. It's not only accommodation. It's not only people lives. It can be office.
yes, it can be an office space, it can be
Okay.
for commercial.
Okay. At this point, this is a solution. So, if you want to create that, build a house, you must understand the requirements. The person who is contracting you to build a house, because we know there are different types. With the same house size, is an up-story building, and it has five rooms. That 5 rooms in a commercial setting can become different offices. That 5 room in a residential setting can become bedrooms. You know, some people, it can become the 5 warehouses. So that's why you need to understand the requirement very well before you start building. Is it commercial? Is it a warehouse? Is it office? That is it? And then you start understanding what do they need to have? What is the temperature? Are they going to have AC? Are they going to have fan? Are they going to have a heating system? These are all the requirements. And where this requirement is going to be, where is it going to be? Is it in my wardrobe or your cupboard? Esther.
And the product backlog.
The product backlog.
Mhm. So, the same thing. If you want to cook food. Okay, that is another example. A pot of soup, a pot of egusi soup is what? What is it?
A product.
And what again? A solution. Solution to what?
Hunger.
Hunger.
Good. And the way you cook egusi soup is different from the way you cook ogbono soup, and the way you cook soup, banga, and the different. So these are different solutions. So you need to take requirements. For instance, if you are a restaurant owner and somebody calls you to cook soup for, you can't just say, okay, you want a soup, good. The discussion does not end there. Does it end there? No. You will say, what kind of soup? You will say, I want a pot of egusi soup. Does it end there? In egusi soup, you can have egusi soup use fish to cook. You can have egusi soup use meat. You have different meats. If you just say meat, you can even use the vulture meat. So you say, no, I want goat meat. These are specific. These are requirements. I want red oil. I don't want red oil. I want vegetable. I want ogo. I want bitter leaf on that egusi soup. These are requirements. All these are what we call backlog for a particular soup. So you can have a backlog for a soup or egusi soup. You can have a product backlog for bono soup. You can have a backlog for fried rice. You can have a backlog for, different types of, dishes. It's not only software. Software is like a house in the digital space. Are you getting it? Website is a house, is an office in the digital space. I want you to understand that way. So there are all solutions. This shirt I'm wearing here is a product. If you just somebody in China now, you tell somebody in China, I want a t-shirt, I want a t-shirt. You ask, what kind of t-shirt? What kind of branding? Is it colorless? Is it a color t-shirt? Is it which color? Is it which texture? Which this? That is requirement. And that's it. What is the solution? What this kind? Under this, because it's very hot in London these days, we want something light, cotton, to help us be in a warm environment. Very soon, winter will come, we'll start ordering another product that will come with different texture. Warm clothes. Solution for cold. So, Madam Team Leader.
I'm clear, sir. Thank you for the clarification.
No, you need to pay extra for this extra time. Okay, yeah. So as a business, as a project manager, a business analyst, that's why I said you can work anywhere. Yeah, both in care, some of us that are in care. Do you know what you call care plan?
Yes.
Care plan will have different types of care plan. That care plan is, a solution. You want to use it to render service, help you to render service. That service is a product or a solution. And it helps you to create, backlog for different types of clients. We have elderly male people, we have elderly female people, we have female people, we have elderly with dementia, we have elderly who are strong, who just want company. You just call them to check up on her. They don't need medication. So there are some people that need medication. So that care plan drill down. Can you see as they need this work of a business analyst? So some of you even work in the care, doing all this care plan. You are a business analyst. That's business analysis you are doing. Are you getting my point? That's core business analysis. We're analyzing various needs of a patient or a various need of a carer or a client, tailoring it to their specific individual need. You can't use a generic. There is nothing like you say, I've done care plan now. Mr. K, boom. Mr. K for one care plan. No, you can't use one care plan for every service user. You must tailor it to their individual need, true or false.
Sir.
You know, most of you, I've done care before all of you. I did my care in 2007. That's when I started care. I did it for 6 months and then I resigned and moved into construction.
Since you followed care down to a business analyst, care to share some tips for project manager as well.
The project manager, you are the care, don't you know that they have care managers? They are the people in charge, controlling, making sure that everybody is doing their work. You see some people, they are dropping shifts. You make arrangement for people to take over for those who are dropping. And you know, that is you. That's the manager. If you want me to drill it down, to break it down to specific, okay, we'll talk about it next time. But everything we are doing in project and everything we are doing in business analysis, everywhere, even in schools, you know, in schools, all these children who have children with special need, who have children with high IQ, who have children with moderate IQ. There's a way that if you come in this country, there's a way, even you see where children are sitting in the class, you can't just go and sit there. So you see some people sitting in the front. You can't just come and sit in the front. They analyze every child's capacity before they place you where you sit. Every child has their file in the school, in this country. They analyze you, they keep on analyzing you, refining you, you know, even the people you sit with in the class is based on your ability. Do you know that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so that is it. All these are business analysis to sit down and analyze. But so many of us who are doing it, but we don't know. Yeah. So yeah. All right. Thank you. And do we have more questions?
Not from me, sir. Okay.
None from me, sir.
Okay. All right. I want you people to produce a product for us. We're already on our project, and additionally, create a product backlog for a 5-bedroom residential duplex.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so we'll top it up. It's an add-on to this.
Oh dear.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, and see you tomorrow.
All right, sir. Good night, sir.
Okay, sir. Good night, sir.
All right.